guys, it's Staley here. Well, this is today's video, the Tuesday video that I promised. I'm not able to do the actual workout video. I'm going to make sure that I do that for next week. This week I've got some sick kids going on, and today my newborn, or 3-month-old, is really sinusy, congested, whiny, cryy, So I just don't have the time to really set up and do all that goes into making a workout video. And of course, I've been getting over sickness myself for the week. Back in the gym though, so all's good. So I started thinking about, well, what do I want to put out for today's video? What do I want to put out for my Tuesday video? And I feel really good about being able to help with the practicals of working out and exercising. Some things that will help motivate you, but also things that your body needs and things to know when you're working out. So that's what this video is going to be. It's going to be just an informational type of video where you can kind of take some notes down, think, hey, what can I incorporate into my workout? What are some points that maybe I'm making that you didn't really know? Or how can I set those goals for working out and not be insane crazy? The first thing that I want to talk about is we're going to start basically with your body and then work out to other practical things. The first thing you've got to worry about are your feet. You have to take into account, it's just like a car and tires. You don't put racing tires on in the winter. And you know what I mean? Like, you have to put the proper thing on your foot. My number one suggestion is to go to a running store. And when I mean a running store, you're looking for something called, something something running company or something something running store or whatever. You want to find these stores, and you can just do a Google search or whatever, and you're going to go to them. You're going to spend anywhere from $90 to $130. Here's what you need to know when you go to these stores. One, you're not going to pick the shoe out. Meaning, you're going to go in, you're going to say, I'm starting to work out, I'm starting to exercise, and I need a shoe that's appropriate for me. And what they're going to do is they're going to start doing a slew of tests. The running store that I go to is called the Naperville Running Company. And what it does is you go in, you talk, they have you take your shoes off, and they just have you walk. They have a little track around the store, a mini track, of course, something for like gerbils. So, but you walk on this track, and they get to see your stride, and then they can kind of make some determinations upon your stride, and then they'll go and they'll get some shoes, and they'll get the shoes, they'll bring them out to you, and they won't even show them to you. They won't talk about price or anything. They'll sit down and they'll start going through everything with you. And then either at that point or afterwards, if they're a really good company, they'll do a video of you running on a treadmill to kind of show you your stride. I actually ended up, when I went, found out that the very shoes that I had once bought a long time ago, my friends always called them the McDonald's shoes because they were like red, yellow, and white. But they had these reinforced insides. And I was like, what the heck would I want these for? But the guy was like, this is the way your stride is and everything. It's just a regular store. I got them, and within like a month, my feet when I walked were like this. They were hurting my ankles. I just wore them out because the outer sole was so soft compared to the inner part. So I have always just ran from shoes like this. Well, I went there and they said, this is the shoe you need. And I said, nope, you don't understand. And they're like, well, you're using your shoes the wrong way. You have to understand that running shoes are for your workouts. They are not for you to go to the store in. They are not for you to go to church in. They're not for you to go hang out with your friends in. Even though we all like cool shoes, these shoes are for what they are. For ice skating, you don't wear your ice skates out and about and walk the town even though you've got blade protectors on. You take them off, you put the appropriate thing on. Same thing is true with your running shoes. They're just for running. And so just use them for running. And you'll break them in better because when you're running, you're at a different stride than when you're just strolling around, hanging out with your friends, standing in line for the movies, whatever. I found that on the video, you could see that when I ran, my outside of my part of my foot would hit, and then I would roll in, and when I pushed off, I was coming in on the inside with my push. What you could actually see with my old shoes, where there was like a bend in my ankle. It was really wicked looking. It looked like I was going to break my ankle every time I ran. We put these shoes on that they were specifically made for someone with my run, and all of a sudden I was running a straighter line. Everything was great. Wonderful. And here's the thing, we got to the very end, and actually he said, well, here's the thing, the shoe on your right foot and the shoe on your left foot, they're both perfect shoes for you. You like them, they're comfortable, they weigh nothing, you don't even hardly feel them on your feet. Those are perfect shoes. Here's what you got $125 on this foot, you got $90 on this foot. I said, I'll take the $90 shoe. Does it match any of my clothes? No. Do I care? No. It doesn't matter. It's the appropriate footwear for my workout. Ever since I've gotten it, better workouts. The next thing is, as you're moving on up, is during your workout, staying hydrated and proper hydration. If you're really working out and you're really, really doing the deed, I mean, you're like sweating after your workout, you're like, it's time for a nap. You've probably exerted yourself a lot. This is a key time to put the proper things in your body during your workout. Now, if you're after your workout and you're just drinking water and everything's good, then great. That's totally awesome. I just said totally awesome. It's okay. I would work out and I would just be like done for the rest of the day, like exhausted. And so I went to go find out, and I talked to a nutritionist and said, what's going on? And they said, you are robbing your body of electrolytes. And you're sweating, you're getting everything out, and you're hydrating with water, but you're not fueling yourself. And especially for someone who's had weight loss surgery, who's malabsorbing and everything, you're not getting the stuff in your body. It's not there. I'm not able to eat enough and drink enough and everything else to be able to fulfill what my body needs when it's being just ravaged of so much stuff. So now it's time to introduce in Gatorade. Now, we can't do Gatorade, especially people with weight loss surgery. We can't do Gatorade because of the sugars and everything else. But there's G2. You can get a low calorie, I think it's like 50 calories or something like that for a drink. You want to get a 20 or 24 ounce bottle, and just instead of your water bottle, just take that, and you're just taking little swigs at a time. What you're doing is you're putting the electrolytes back in your body. You're putting potassium and electrolytes back in you that's going to be able to help rejuvenate you and repair you while you're working out. So G2 can be a huge thing for you. Second thing is after your workout. After your workout, this is the best thing that you can do, is maybe have it ready in the car, or even just have it ready at the house, ready, good to go, is have your protein shake ready. Now here's the thing. If you're doing a straight cardio workout, protein's not going to help you. Okay, it's not going to do anything for you. If you are doing weight training, when you do weights, what you are doing is you're destroying and tearing the muscle so that it can rebuild. And when it builds itself back up, it builds itself bigger. And so you're slowly starting to build muscle. That's a dummies kind of version of it, but I don't want to make this a 3-hour-long video. One of the things that helps repair is protein. That's why protein powders and shakes and bars and everything else are so popular in nutrition stores, is because of the weightlifters that are using them. Now here's the deal. There's a small window of when you can have your protein powder. You're looking at not within the first 15 minutes of your workout being over. So this is good if you have to go home. If you're within 15 minutes of being home, this is great, but no longer than a half an hour. You want to do it within that 15-minute window. Like, right after 15 minutes and right before you get to a half an hour after your workout. You want to have your shake in that time. You're looking at a cup. You can have water or milk in it. It doesn't really matter. Milk doesn't bother me. It does make me a little nauseous after a workout, but it's great. It's a little extra protein. It's wonderful. So just put a scoop of your protein powder in, because you're only going to absorb no more than 30 grams of protein anyway. 26 is the number that I stick with. 30 grams is pretty solid. So a half a scoop's usually about 25 grams. You're going to get about, say, 5 grams or so off of a cup of milk. So if you want to get 30 grams, you get 30 grams. So do 1 scoop of powder, do your protein powder, and do a cup of milk, and you're going to help repair yourself. I'll tell you something. I bust my tail off in the gym when it comes to weights. I am building some serious muscle mass, but I'll tell you what, I haven't had a single sore day. And it's because I'm making sure that I'm doing my protein powder at the right time. So you've got all that. That's all about your body and everything else. Next thing you want to know is music. One of the biggest motivators is music for people. So pack your iPod or your MP3 player or even your phone. I use my phone as my MP3 player now. So make playlists, because there's nothing like working out and all of a sudden Yanni's greatest hits or something come on. It's like, woo, do 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 do, and you're in the middle of a hard run. That's not motivating. I mean, it might be motivating to you, but it's not motivating to most people. Music is a universal thing. I'm a musician, but also I believe that anybody can get motivated with music. So pick the fight songs. Pick the, the Final Countdown or the Eye of the Tiger or whatever. Like, pick those songs and make those songs. Songs that are relevant to you in your life, that are going to get, like, the Miley Cyrus or, whatever that's like inspirational. That's great, maybe for your ride home. Don't do that in the middle, because you don't want to be crying or thinking about your day or anything like that. Just concentrate on your workout. What's going to get me through this and push through? First 5 minutes of your workout, you're taking it easy anyway, so don't put a hardcore song in for when you're warming up. So do your 5-minute warm up. Don't have to go strong, and then when you're ready to pump it up, you've got those songs ready. So playlists are just essential for making sure you're having a good workout and everything. This next one is for you guys that are doing it at the gym and everything else. You have an elliptical machine, or you're doing a treadmill, Stairmaster, whatever. Here's the best thing you can do. Bring something. I don't care what it is. A magazine, anything. I actually take a magazine off they have a magazine rack for people that want to read magazines while they're working out. I just take it and put it in front of the machine so I don't see any of the numbers. I want to see how fast I'm running. I don't see how long I've run. I don't see the time I've run. I want to block those two things out, because those things are going to be deterrents. Because you might be just, whew, I'm doing so good, man. I bet you I ran for like 15 minutes. You look down and you've ran for a minute and a half. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to make it. It's such a bummer to you. Block those things out. It's just like not weighing on the scale 35 times a day. Just block them out. They're not important. Set your time, set a watch, do whatever you've got to do. Set a playlist. My playlist is I have a playlist for my cardio days, because I know my cardio days I go for an hour, so I have an hour-long playlist. When that playlist is over, my workout's over. I also have a list for my strength training days, because I do cardio before I do my strength training. And so I have a list that's 35 minutes long. It includes my 5-minute warm-up and then the rest of the time. Remember also, with these times, add on another 5 minutes of cooling down. Once your playlist is over, then you can move everything, you can look at your numbers, but then you can start slowing yourself down. About a mile an hour every minute. You want to slow yourself down until you're like just barely walking on the treadmill. So slow your body down. You also won't have the sensation of getting off and feeling like you're going to take off running. Just slow down, breathe, take it easy. Okay, so finally what I'm going to talk about is when you're strength training. When you're strength training, start easy. Even with running or with anything, start easy. But when you're doing strength training, take it easy. I would say in the beginning, you want to do one set of 10 reps, which means you're going to sit, let's say you go to a machine, you sit down on the machine, and you're going to do that machine 10 times. You want to be about 70-80% of your capacity. Your last 3 reps should be difficult. That means your body is breaking down and you're putting some strain on it, which means you're damaging your muscles, which is a good thing. And so make sure that you're pushing yourself, but don't overdo it. And then you're done. Do that for maybe about 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, move it up to 2. So now you're doing 2 sets of 10. Same thing. You don't have to worry so much about the weight. If you feel like you can handle more weight, handle more weight. But just get used to doing those. You're going to take a little breaks in between. You're not just going to sit there. You're going to take a break. Take about 60 seconds or so to do it. If you have multiple machines that you're doing, the best thing you can do is actually work out on one machine, get up and go to the next machine and go do a workout. I do my legs, or I should say my lower body and my upper body on the same days. But what I do is I alternate machines. So I'll do a set on one and then on my uppers, and then I'll go work on my lowers on another machine, then come back to that machine. I'll just kind of hop back and forth between these 2 machines and then move on to the next machines and start doing those. This way, I'm allowing my upper body to rest while I'm working on my lower body and vice versa. So this is just an idea. Eventually, I would say after about a month and a half, then you want to drastically change and you want to go to 3 to 4 sets of 8 reps. So lower your reps. Never do more than, say, 5 of 6. 5 sets of 6 reps. But when you go to these numbers, you want to be doing more weight and you want to be doing them, try to do them quicker and more in spurts. You don't have to do it, push it out and then go real slow back. You want to do that maybe for the first 2 phases of your workout, meaning about the first month and a half or so. Take it slow, but then after that, you can do it a lot faster and a lot harder, because what you're also going to be doing is that's actually some cardio. You won't get up to a full target, but you will be burning fat while you're doing this. Okay, finally, I do want to say when you're working on it, it's kind of jumping back a little bit, but when you're working out on your treadmill or your elliptical or anything like that, take it easy. In the beginning, take it easy. You should be doing about a 2.0 to a 2.5 warm-up. Okay? Increasing to about a 3.0 to a 3.5 for your, this is speed-wise, for your actual get up and go. Maybe after about a certain amount of time, you want to start doing short sprints. So kick it up to a 4.5 or something. Just do it until you feel like you can't. This is a good time. If you want to start looking at the time, you can look at the time. What you can do is you can try to do maybe a 60 to 90 second sprint and then rest for double that time. So if you do 60 seconds, you do 2 minutes for your, just go back down to your jog, or I wouldn't go down to a full walk. Don't go down to your rest, what your warm-up is. Just go down a little bit, and then after those 2 minutes, get back on it again. And slowly start to do this, and what you'll find is a little bit and a little bit, you'll actually get to that point where you're like, oh, you know what, I can go a little bit longer today. Now, I've been doing 90 seconds, but I feel like I could do 120 seconds. So why don't I just push it for 120 seconds? You push it for 120 seconds, and then what you'll find is next week, you're doing it for more. So now you're doing it like 5 minutes, and then you're doing it 10 minutes, and then you're going to finally find that the whole time you can run. And then you'll start messing with inclines and speeds and increasing your speed and everything else. If you can get yourself up to maybe a 5 or 6 incline going about 7 to 9 miles an hour, that's a really solid workout. We're going to have to lose a lot of weight before we really feel comfortable doing that. However, that's a really good workout. That's a goal to go for. But you're not going to hit that goal for 3 to 4 months, and that's okay. So, anyways, I'm not a total expert, but I've been successful in the working out, working with personal trainers. So I just wanted to pass some of this stuff along to you guys. And next week, I promise you, I will put the workout video out to help you guys do what you need to do to be able to battle this overweightness that we have. And so, thanks, guys, and give me a thumbs up if you like this. All right, thanks.